I just spooked my target buck up out of his bed. I have been trying to do that last year scouting and this year scouting. I had a thunderstorm. You can hear it's thunder. I had a thunderstorm roll through. So I was pulling cameras. I was trying to get out of here quick. And I wanted to check this spot because I knew that buck was up around this area somewhere. I figured with the cover of the rain and the noise, I'll sneak up in here. I got within 25 yards of him. No idea he was there. He just jumped up and took off. Gone now.
Well, good morning. It is September 15th. I am out on this piece of public where I've been chasing these couple bucks. I figured I would come here and hunt a morning. Usually mornings aren't the best in early season unless you got kind of a perfect scenario going on. I don't really have that today. However, this is kind of the last larger temperature difference between the high and low of the day. This morning it's about 56 degrees. It's supposed to warm up to I think like 83, and then the rest of the week it's supposed to be in the mid upper 80s and lows in like the mid 60s. So wanted to take advantage of this last cooler day and just see if there's anything on its feet. I know this place has gotten hit pretty hard, so I figured I'd change it up, come during the week in the morning and hopefully catch these deer off guard. But there are a few cameras here I want to check as well, so I'll probably hunt for a few hours, get down and check some cards. I know there's been bucks taken off here, and I don't know if any of the bucks are the ones that I've been after, so I'm going to check some cameras to see if my target bucks are still on there or not, and then go from there. So we'll see. I'm going to go get set up in the dark here, and then wait for shooting light. Let's see what happens.
I finally got set up. I'm in a pretty good spot, I feel like. Again, this is one of those areas where I'm either going to see a buck or probably not see anything. I got really good cover around me and I can see out in this thicket in front of me. I'll turn the camera around so you guys can kind of see. As you can hear, it's pretty noisy, so I'm hoping most of that noise covered up the noise I made getting in here. So I'll get this camera turned around and show you my setup. So I'm just high enough in this tree that I got in this gap and all these branches. I got a ton of cover off to my left here, a ton of cover out in front of me, and a bunch behind me. I'm just in this small opening, but I can see out in this thicket, hoping to catch some deer either moving across the thicket here or kind of moving along the edge. So we'll see what happens. I know those bucks that I've been after have been kind of roaming around this ridge. The other evening, I was a couple hundred yards that way. I figured I'd change it up, come on this side because of my wind. It's a light variable, but it's coming out of the northeast, blowing right at me. So we'll see what happens. It's my setup this morning. It's one of my targets. shaking like a leaf. It wasn't the best shot. This grass is so tall. It covered most of the deer. I had shot 35, I think. Arranged it earlier. 30, 35. I had to stop him. It's so loud around here. It took me a minute. And I had an opening, and I hit him back. He was quartering away a little bit, so I'm hoping that helps. But he took off in the stick stuff. I might have to give him some time. I can't believe that happened. That happened like I was hoping it. It is 7:40 in the morning. I don't want to get too excited because I feel like I'm gonna have to let that deer lie. I'm gonna review the footage. I'm pretty sure I hit him and I was just backed. So I didn't get him on camera. These branches down in front of me were in my way. But you can see the deer taking off. I'm gonna kind of give you a view of what I saw and how everything went down. So I saw that buck over here. He popped out from behind this little cedar and he was standing right there. Kind of caught me off guard. I just happened to look behind me and then out he steps. So as you can see, I have all this in front of me. I get the GoPro ready and the camera ready, and he works his way behind this. And then I was waiting for him. He looked like he was going to angle this way, but he started angling away. And it doesn't look it, but this grass is anywhere between 4 to 6 foot tall. This is very high grass. He ends up working along that edge here, quartering away a little bit, and I was trying to stop him right in that opening because over here I had essentially no shot because of all the grass. And then if he would have went that way, I wouldn't have had any shot. And even this grass here is pretty tall, covering most of his vitals. So I had a small window here in the grass, and he was quartering just a little bit. And the front part of his shoulder was kind of covered there, but he was quartering away, so I figured I could tuck it back a little bit, and then I just got, jacked. I tried to anchor, and it's nice and slow, and then I believe I hit him back. I'm trying to keep myself calm and collected. I want to be like, oh, he's down. I'm not confident in the shot placement. I'm not, 100% confident in it, but I'm pretty sure I hit him back. So I'm gonna go down here and see if I can find my arrow. If I find my arrow and there's good blood on it, I'm gonna be a little bit more optimistic here. But he ended up taking off through this thicket here, this autumn olive, and there's little trees in there, and then went that way. I heard some go through the thicket, and then it got quiet. So either one of two things: either I hit him better than I thought and he expired, or he went off and he bedded down over there. So we'll see. I'm gonna check this arrow. So there's my tree. This is that small gap in these taller native grasses that I shot through. He was standing over here. I'm having a heck of a time trying to find my arrow, so you can see how thick this is. But I did spot. My camera's just some blood there. So, pretty sure that's blood. So hopefully, he went that way. Hopefully I can find more of that. Okay, so I was just up under this. I saw that blood. I was like, man, I'm gonna go off behind it. I looked down and my arrow's way back in here. Here it is. Okay. Pass through. Here we go. Got blood all over the arrow. Pretty watery blood. If I can focus on this. Pretty watery. It's dark. Some matter on it, so I know I definitely got guts and liver. But from the angle, it looks like he was quartering harder than I thought. And I got quite a bit of blood on this arrow, so a little bit more encouraged. But I know with these shots, you need to give the deer time. He took off in this thicket that way, and I heard him crash through there, and then it got quiet. So one of two things: either he just crashed over there, or he went over, trotted, stopped, and he probably bedded down somewhere over there. A lot of times with these back hits, they'll bed down. But very optimistic I got to pass through. I feel better now that I have my arrow, but I'm just gonna give him some time. So the worst case scenario is I go trudging through here, and then I bump him, and then he runs forever. So the best thing to do now is just back out, give him time. Like if he's over there, if he's dead, he's gonna stay there. He's not going anywhere. If he's not, then I shouldn't give him enough time to expire. So I'm just gonna leave my arrow here, mark my spot, and then go back to the truck. All right, I am back at the car. I am packed up everything. We're gonna give this deer plenty of time. Just from experience in years past, that's the best thing we can do right now. I do feel optimistic looking at the arrow that the deer is hurt pretty bad, but I think he'll need a while. So I'm gonna go home, unload what I need to unload, and then I'm gonna go ahead and, just as a precaution, fill one of my coolers with ice, some dry ice, and get it pre-chilled, and then come back probably in 6 hours or so, and then start looking for the deer. We'll go from there. All right, stay tuned.
All right, Josh called me this morning, told me he shot one of his target bucks on some public, and the shot wasn't the best. He did what he could with what he had, and that always seems to be the case. It's pretty rare that you have a big buck come in and do everything you want in an area that is conducive to making just an amazing shot. So said it was like 35 yards or so, quartered away a little bit, which to me means a lot. Anytime you notice that a deer is quartered to or away, it is more than what you think. He aimed a little back, and the blood is painted red. Anytime you have that thicker blood that covers your arrow like paint all the way down like that, that's generally telling me it's a liver hit. So there was gut matter on there as well. I'm thinking he probably hit, guts and liver, obviously, popped the diaphragm, hopefully, and also probably nicked a lung, if I had to guess, with a quartered shot like that. So I think he's shooting a 1.5 inch cut head, so that's good. It's an expandable with a quartered away shot like that on a 2-blade expandable. I would expect to have a pretty good wound. In my opinion, I think the deer is already dead. It's been dead for a while, maybe moments after the shot. But with the evidence presented, there's a game to be played, and you can't stray outside of those rules or you're going to get your heart broke a lot. So I'm on my way now to help Josh and ramble to you guys on my phone while I do it. Stay tuned.
So we're back at the site of impact here. I was just walking Corey through how this morning went down. that buck popped out behind a small cedar about 20-25 yards off to our right here. Worked down this edge, got to here, and my setup is 35 yards that way. Stuck in there pretty well. He was quartering just slightly. And this is where I found my arrow, back up in this thick stuff. I didn't push any further. I knew the shot was packed, so we backed out. It's been about 10 hours or so. So we're hoping to get back on this blood and walk up on the deer, hopefully. Let's get to looking.
Just go stupid slow.
So, update. It's kind of like a body search right now with how tall this stuff is and with the blood being so hard to see. We're just gonna go back out the way we came and then get a drone, or we got a drone at the truck, scan the field from above instead of trouncing through it. That way, in case we want to get a dog, we haven't messed it up too much. So that's where we're at right now.
Oh yeah, he's nice and long. He's real nice. He's good. The ones on track probably, I would say they're probably the hunts. Sure.
So as of right now, the dog is tracking in a place that none of us have walked at all. Josh didn't think the deer came this way, and it happens to be leading towards where Josh thinks the deer was bedding. So this could get good.
I got blood right here.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're on the track.
Can you mark this?
Huh?
Can you mark it?
Where's the blood?
Right here. Drops.
Yep.
Got wet new blood. There's some blood that goes up that way. Thinking maybe coyotes bumped this buck, but there's a decent amount there and there. It looks like he might have went back up this way.
Oh my God.
I got jumped by one of those public land guys. Hey. Let's go, baby.
Rin for the win.
Coyotes. I bet you smell coyotes something.
Yeah, something busted him out of there.
Oh my God.
He's been dead for a hot minute, hadn't he?
Yeah, he's been dead for a while.
Wow, look at the mess.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah, dog pretty tough, isn't it?
Oh my God, that dog's amazing.
That
He jumped-
freaking
there's
dog.
shit there too. He might have just jumped a hot doe or something. You shit up
Yeah.
there fresh.
Yeah.
He might have. I mean, he's still young, man. He still might crash a little, but
I mean,
hey, tell me that he ain't a bad little.
oh, that dog.
Shit. Pull that fucker up, man. Pull that joker up. What do you think of that dog, boy?
Hey,
Huh?
nice job,
Is
dude.
he still twinning?
Oh,
Is Ren still winning?
Ren is the
Boy,
winner.
Huh?
Good job.
Let's go
Cool to
back
pet
the
him.
vehicle, wasn't it?
Good.
Good boy, Ren. Good
Good
boy.
boy.
Good boy. Oh my God! Look at that beast. Look at that
Look at that.
beast. What's her name again? Josh. All right. I'm gonna hit a little record here for a second.
Here, let's get this little sapling out of the way. That's gonna like ruin everything. Tell me you don't want your deer rack in the way. Look at that guy.
Video. Josh, what do you think, man?
I think
I was at the football game. So just bringing Ren out. Year and a half old dog. What do you think of that dog, man?
That dog is the best dog I've ever seen.
Was the blood trail sparse at most or what?
Oh, sparse at most.
I mean,
Hey,
there it is.
I'm
How
con-
far do you think we went?
From up
All the way
there.
around the whole loop, everything we did.
I turned my track on up there. We can find out in a minute.
Yeah, it was a good ways,
Pretty
500-600
good
yards. Yeah,
Yeah, 500-600 yards there. Yeah.
through the thickest, nasty
Thick and
stuff.
nasty stuff, man. You guys want to see how thick this stuff is, man.
I want to see where you hit this deer.
I don't know what this stuff is, but it's iron.
Yeah, this is like this. I feel like I'm a confident
Come on, Ren.
tracker. This was a
I don't know
buzzard
why he
situation.
got off back there, man. He got on something hot, man. Had to him. Come on, Ren. It don't matter.
Where did you hit him? Oh my God. Okay.
Where did it exit?
This is the entry here, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna put his leash back on that way. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Well, now the real work begins.
There's the exit.
Hey, man.
Wow.
That probably is liver then. Probably got the liver and got
That's exit.
liver stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice buck, man. That's a great buck.
Heck yeah.
Public buck.
Kentucky
yeah.
Public Giant.
Oh well.
Good boy.
Let's get to work, huh?
Good boy.
So I came to this piece of public. This is a piece I hunted last year and got on some good bucks. Never got a chance at any, but I scouted again this off season and got on a couple good ones, this being one of them. I hunted here one time so far this season, last weekend, near a spot where I bumped this buck out of his bed and didn't see anything. And based on everything I had been seeing in here, this place got hit pretty hard. There's quite a bit of pressure opening weekend and that first week. So today, it's a Thursday. This is the second chance I got to come out and actually hunt. So my thought was, you know, if this piece has been getting hit as hard as what I think it has been, I'm gonna try something different that no one else is probably doing. I'm gonna go out during the week in a morning and just see if I can catch one of these bucks off guard. I went on the other side of the ridge compared to where I hunted the other evening, and my wind was good for that spot. I got tucked in an area. I actually got set up a little late. I was set up at 7:12 and legal shooting light was around 6:50, so I got set up late, and then this guy came out of his bedding area, or I actually think he was working his way back towards his bedding area, and I ended up shooting him at 7:40. The shot was back, you can see right in front of the hind quarters here, but he was actually quartering harder than I thought. The exit is actually right towards this backside lung just about, so we haven't cut him open yet, but I'm thinking gut sliver and then potentially clip this lung over here. But these deer are tough. And this is some thick, nasty stuff that he was in, so there was no way we were finding this deer on our own. We lost blood, and we ended up calling a tracking dog, and thank God he was here, because we would have never found this deer.
Nope. I agree.
Oh, yeah, I agree. We would not have found this deer without that dog. As a crow's flies, we're only like 250 yards from where I was set up at, but this deer did a big loop and went down over this hillside and kind of zigzagged back and forth and eventually went over here. So thick, nasty stuff, as you can see. Even if we would have grid searched, I don't think we would have found this deer. But that goes to show you, you know, if you have the opportunity to use a dog, there's no shame in it, right? Sometimes that's the right thing to do.
Amen.
You got to do whatever you can to find these deer.
That is very well put.
So,
Well,
this is my first public land buck. This is my second sit of the season. Ready? Let's go.
don't know why you're crying. It's not like you're carrying anything. I've got all the weight with this bow and the game bag sack. And I said, baby, it's 3 a.m. and I must be lonely.